Hey guys, happy Sunday, Creator Mom. Hope your weekend is going well. I just wanted to talk about rigid thinking, which I've noticed in myself a lot, like a lot of rigid thinking. And I've noticed that it's based off, it has to do with catastrophic thinking, um, uh, uh, feeling like any one wrong move is gonna make everything fall apart, um, which is like catastrophic thinking. Um, yeah, fear of making a mistake, it has to do with that. So yeah, rigid thinking has to do with fear of making a mistake leading to something catastrophic. And it doesn't even have to be in something that's like a major life decision. With that's what's really interesting about the rigid thinking. It's just like has to do with like doing things perfectly or perfection. Because if we can get things perfect, then that means things won't fall apart, right? Because it's perfect or whatever. I'll give you an example of my rigid thinking, and I notice now I have a little bit more awareness, I think, of my rigid thinking. So I'll be like, damn, Sheena, why are you being so rigid? Like, you're being rigid in your thinking. Does it have to, I ask myself, does it have to be this way? Do you have to do this right now? Do you have to do it in the way that you're thinking that you're doing it? And then when I ask myself those questions, my mind opens up a little bit more and I see other options, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like I don't have to do things that way. No, I don't have to. So I was I had to open up a new bank account because the bank that I was banking with wasn't in a convenient location for me anymore. So I got a bank that was in a convenient location. So I transferred over money, right? Some money, but then I have this little bit of money left in my bank account, like a little bit, like under $40, right? Left in my old bank account. And I'm like, this is how much I overthink it. Oh, should I transfer the money over? Should I just use it for something to drain out that bank account and then close it? And I'll sit there thinking about that like over and over. And does it really matter in the grand scheme, like $40, like, or whatever, because my rationale was, oh, well, if I transfer it to my other banking institution, it's going to take like 3 days and I'm going to have that money hanging in the balance. That money will be unusable for 3 days, right? But it's a small amount of money. It's not like it's the majority of your money, you know what I mean? But that's the rigid thinking. Instead of being like, and the overthinking. Instead of being like quickly like, oh, it's only $40. It's fine if I just transfer it. It's okay if it takes 3 days. Because again, it's a minimal amount of money and it's going to be fine. And then I'll close out my account, But it'll like keep ruminating over that again and then again and again to make sure that I'm making the right decision over something that's not a major life decision. This is not a major life decision. Like, it's going to work out either way. Like, if I decide to use the money, that's going to work out. If I transfer the money over to my other bank, like, it's going to work out. Sure, it may take a few days, but it'll work out. Like, it'll all be okay. But my mind tends to get catastrophic. Like, oh, but what if this or what if that? There's other examples I just can't think of right now, but it's just like with little things, it's just like, oh, the perfection or the fear of change, right? Like, fearing change. Oh my God, like, oh no, I don't want to get a new job because that's going to change everything. And then this and this and this and that. And well, guess what? I was saying to myself this morning, like, nothing's going to change if nothing changes. Nothing's going to change if nothing changes. Like, if I want a different job, well, I have to get a different job and then things change. You know what I'm saying? Like, And that's okay, because without change, there's no progress. Like, how can I increase in abundance or whatever without change? Of course, then I'm just going to stay the same if I don't have change. So just like this fear around change and things moving, it's like, oh my God, pieces on the chessboard are moving and I'm scared. What if they move and everything just fucking explodes and goes to pieces and falls apart and I end up homeless? Like, I'm like, whoa, like how my mind goes from point A to this point Z really fast, and I have to like put those thoughts on trial, as they say. Well, let's see. I've experienced a lot of change in this past couple of years. Did my life fall apart and catastrophically or whatever? Like, no, it didn't. If my life is going to change for the better, I have to accept change and things moving and shifting and being okay with that, being comfortable with that. So I think it's just about keeping that mind and energy just in fucking check. You know what I mean? Like, I was even telling myself this morning, like, stop worrying. Worrying is putting energy into the wrong fucking things. Like, the energy, my energy, like God's presence within me, like my mind, are the most precious things ever in moving my life force through this world and getting the things that I want. Why would I destroy that, or why would I contaminate that with excessive fear and worry? It's so harmful, and I just have to I feel like I have to keep reminding myself of that when my brain wants to fall into that pit. It's like, no, stop it. Stop it. All right, guys. If you have anything helpful to share, leave it in the comments.